Hi, I'm Matt, Product Specialist here at Freeform Fabrication, here to talk to you today about settings on the Onyx laser welder. So here on the screen you can see all the settings that the Onyx has. First one you've got is power, that is the strength of the laser beam. Next is frequency, and that is the number of shots per second. You've got pulse, on some machines that's called duration, some that's called time, and that is the length of time the laser shot actually stays on the metal. And the spot is the size of the beam that you're working with. All of those settings can be used individually, but it's how they work together is more important. The first one I'll mention is the frequency, because that is the number of shots per second. And what's important with that one is to use it where you're comfortable. If you're doing something like retipping next to a diamond, a fine chain, hollow, costume or anything like that, the recommendation would be to keep that frequency nice and low. So if I turn that down to 1, that'll fire at 1 shot per second, which is a nice comfortable speed to make sure that you're not going to blast through something or cause damage that you don't mean to. But however, if you're doing something like a resize, where you need to put down a lot of material quickly, increasing that frequency can be a really good way of doing that, to put down more material at once, or if you're, say, blending a job as well, really good to fire lots of shots to get that done nice and quickly. Then you've got the power, pulse and spot that all work together really well. When you're joining something, whether you're tacking or doing a jump ring, bolt ring or anything like that, you want that spot nice and low. So I would say anywhere sort of 0.2 to 0.6 is a good range to start. And that is because the smaller spot you have, the power is concentrated in that area a bit more. So it's concentrated in that smaller beam, but with more power. If you find that the power is too aggressive, a way to reduce that is by increasing the spot, because you've got the same amount of power, but going into a larger area. But you might also find, especially with the Onyx, how you get a really smooth weld by using a slightly bigger beam. It can smooth it out a little bit more. The next one is power. So power is the strength of the beam, as we know. Sometimes you'll be using the laser and you'll find that you're not getting enough of a reaction. Again, sometimes decreasing the spot can be a way of getting more power, but also by naturally increasing the power is a good way to get action on the job. Another way of doing that can be the pulse. So as we say, the pulse is the length of time the laser shot stays on the metal. By increasing the pulse, the same amount of power will stay on the metal, but for a longer period. And therefore you'll get a bigger reaction. Going back to doing a finer job, or especially hollow, you want to lower the pulse right down to 0.1. And the reason for that is we don't want the laser shot to stay on the metal for too long and burn through the metal. Lowering the pulse means it'll just tap it instead of staying on the metal for longer. That's where it's important to use all of those settings in conjunction with each other. Lasers are very much feel machines, so if you're not getting the reaction that you want, it's a case of learning the machine, and with experience you'll tweak the settings up and down a little bit to find a real sweet spot of the settings. In terms of metals, different metals will require different settings. So typically steel is what you need the lowest settings for. Then with gold and platinum is kind of in the middle range. With silver is where you need the most power. In your manual you will find that there is a guide to different types of job with different settings. But the best thing and the best advice to get is to start low on the settings and increase them until you're getting the reaction that you want. The last thing you want to do is burn a hole through something accidentally. So by starting low and tweaking the power up, then it's a way to ensure that you're going to find the right settings without causing too much damage. Thank you for watching and good luck with your laser welding journey. It'll be worth watching Paul Payne's workshop, a playlist on our YouTube channel that's got lots of technical videos about how to use laser welders. And also please like and subscribe, it really helps us out.